Welcome in, everybody. It's the Coach Matthew Mitchell Show. I'm your host, Coach Matthew Mitchell. And as always, we are appreciative of the time we have to spend together with you and help you increase your performance, help you with your personal growth. You're investing in your leadership when you join us each and every week. And we are so pleased that you're with us. Remember to go to coachmatthewmitchell.com. That's where you can find leadership content that can move your team forward. And we believe this: when you have the right tools, you can build the company, the organization, the team that you desire. And we have used the winning tools, honesty, hard work, and discipline for the past 20 years in my leadership. Has just produced incredible results. And so you can find out about that at coachmatthewmitchell.com. We have a few speaking dates we can get to you this year in 2025. And so you can find out everything you need to know there. Also, go anywhere you buy books online and pick up a copy of our latest book, my latest book, USA Today bestseller, Ready to Win: How Great Leaders Succeed Through Preparation. That book is making a difference in people's lives. It can make a difference in yours, or pick it up for someone. Send it to someone who needs to learn about preparation and how that can powerfully position them to win. So we are ready to serve. You can find us also on social at Coach Matthew Mitchell. And certainly we're, again, happy you're with us on the podcast. So if you have not subscribed, please do that. And you will be locked into our community, and you will be immersed in the power of the winning tools. So this is the final episode, the final chapter. No, not the final chapter, the final installment. That's it. It's the final installment in our series, Principles, Power, Performance. And so we started this a few weeks back, and we started this because I was noticing in my new position, and if this is your first time listening to the podcast, I had a 15-year college head coaching career in Division I college women's basketball at Morehead State University and at the University of Kentucky, and had a very, very successful first 15 years. And that's where the winning tools were born, and that's where the winning tools came alive. And so after 15 years, I stepped away, and I built our company, the Winning Tools, and have written a couple of books, The Winning Tools, Ready to Win, both best-selling books, traveled the country, spoken to thousands of people, were speaking and writing and coaching, done workshops, and did that for the past 4 years. But this, about 8 weeks ago, 2 months ago, we decided to make a return to college basketball, started looking at opportunities, and the one that we found that was just perfect for the vision that I have for this next act in my college basketball coaching career and for our family, we found the perfect spot, and it's at the University of Houston. In Houston, Texas, in the Big 12 Conference. And so I got that job. So grateful to have found such an opportunity, amazing opportunity here at Houston. This series was inspired by what I was noticing in the midst of putting together a Division I college basketball program. There are literally 1,000 decisions I have to make, and maybe thousands of decisions that I have to make on the front end as we get the program up and running. And so many, many, many things have to happen, so much activity. And so what I was noticing in all of the busyness and all of the activity, I was noticing what the winning tools, honesty, hard work, and discipline, I was noticing what it was producing in my life and in my leadership. And I was seeing in real time everything I've been out teaching and coaching in the corporate world the last 4 years, I'm now using in a real-time leadership situation, a very dynamic leadership situation, and I noticed what the winning tools were producing, and that's what the series has been all about. When you enter into a new opportunity, or you enter into a really big opportunity in your current business that is just going to move the needle, you know it's a big moment. What I found were my principles were so strong that they really were able to launch me toward success in what is a monumental task that awaits. We have explained to you, and you can go back and listen to the previous episodes if you need to, but what is a principle? What are your principles? But first of all, what is a principle? So a principle is a fundamental truth that serves as the foundation for your system of behavior. Your system of belief is rooted and anchored by your principles. And so the fundamental truth that serves as the foundation of my system of behavior, my system of belief, are the winning tools, which honesty, hard work, discipline. So I started to notice that these principles were showing up in real time. And so honesty allowed me to be clear. Hard work was producing confidence. And we did both episodes. You can go back and see what honesty produced and what I'm talking about with honesty helping me get clear on what needed to be done. You can go back and listen to the last episode on hard work and how the hard work that I had done before I arrived here in this opportunity, in this situation, that produced confidence. And also the confidence that, for me knowing that I have the capacity and I have the principle and I have the strength over time, that I've built the capacity to work and I have a strong work ethic, that has me confident as we go into the future because I know I have the capacity to do the work. So this week's installment on this episode, we're going to show you how discipline has produced calm in my life, CALM, calm, in what has been a very, very dynamic, fast-paced environment. And I was surprised, maybe not surprised isn't the right word, but I was pleased at how calm I've been able to remain. And that doesn't mean that we haven't worked very hard and that we've been very busy and that we've had many, many challenging moments. But what I've noticed is since my commitment to the winning tools over the past 20 years, and particularly in the last 4 years as I stepped away from the game and built this leadership company and really refined the system and dialed in the message and then did some work on my growth and my leadership, I'm now in probably one of the most turbulent, chaotic situations potentially in my leadership career. And for me to be agitated, disturbed, overly excited, that opportunity is there, and that is not what's happened. We've been able to remain calm, and it's been a huge benefit. And I believe it is a direct result of me being attached and anchored and rooted in the winning tool of discipline. So let's dive into this teaching this week, and let's see how this can help you improve and help you grow and help you get prepared for the next big moment in your leadership journey and the next big challenging situation you find yourself in. Let's see if the winning tool of discipline can produce some calm for you. So you know that if you've ever listened to the show before, you know I love to define what we're talking about. So what does calm actually mean? We may have an idea of what calm means, but I love these definitions. So calm means I am free from agitation. I'm free from disturbance. I am free from showing nervousness, anger, or other strong reactive emotions that other people might notice and that I might notice myself. And I particularly love this one as it speaks, as the definition of calm relates to weather. It says pleasantly free from wind. And so when we take that and use it as a metaphor for life, when we take it from weather and think about life, think about the storms that come up in our lives. Think about the wind that blows. And what does that do? In nature, when the wind blows really hard, trees are crashing down, shingles are coming off the roof of our house, the water is raging in either a river or if you go in by the ocean on a day where the wind's really up, you see how strong the waves are and how choppy the water can be. And if we think about that analogy of the ocean, we've also been beside the ocean or observed it, and people say, boy, the ocean's so calm today. It's like a glass top, and it's just so calm. You go out to Lake Tahoe in California or some of the awesome lakes in the Ozarks or wherever you may be, and you're a water skier, and it's like the surface was like glass today, I've heard water skiers say, and that is an absence of wind, makes the surface very calm. But if you get a windy day, then the water's choppy, it's churning, and it is the opposite of calm. So you have in the air when we're flying, we have a calm flight, and it's just smooth. And boy, how was your flight today? It was so smooth. That's calm. When you're up there and the thing's rattling around and you think that the wings are going to break off the plane, that's turbulence. They say, hey, we've hit some turbulence. So that's the opposite of calm. What I'm going to show you today is how discipline has helped me produce some calmness in my leadership as a person, how it has produced calmness in our operations, and it's produced calmness in our circumstances, how we react to circumstances. And all three things are happening right now here at Houston as I'm building the program and getting it up and really jump starting. And we're here at the beginning. And there's so much that needs to be done. But I'd love to first share with you as a person, when we see people that aren't calm, one of the words that I researched that I think describes a person that's not calm is that person is visibly shaken. I can notice that I'm shaken in my personal life or just my personal presence, or if you've ever seen someone in a really, really tough situation and they're shaken, and that is having had someone's composure or confidence upset. When I'm shaken, I am shocked, I'm disturbed, I've lost my composure, I've lost my confidence, and that is the opposite of calm. When I am shaken as a person, I am not able to move forward with any type of confidence that I'm going to be able to solve this challenge, meet the challenge, rise to the occasion. All right? So the discipline that we're able to build in our life, and when we have discipline and we use that winning tool, we can transform when personally we are under the gun. When we have discipline, we want to transfer from shaken, and we want to replace that with being cool-headed. So what happens when someone's cool-headed? They are not easily worried. They're not overly excited. And so you may be asking yourself, what does discipline have to do when I'm really under the gun and I'm at the beginning of a very big project that maybe has some complexity to it and is extremely challenging, and there's so many things swirling about? How can I possibly be cool-headed in this time instead of shaken? And so here is what happens with discipline. And here's how discipline helps you as a person. All right, so what I have learned and what I've noticed is that when I process information and it's coming at me in a very, very, in a high volume of decisions that I need to make, and the opportunity for me to get overwhelmed is there, and the opportunity for me to get shaken is there, how have I been able to remain cool-headed through this process? Well, I've had the discipline of over time producing winning results, and that is my track record over time. So I look back at what we've been able to accomplish in previous situations like this in building the programs that Morehead State in Kentucky. And so I'm able to reconnect to what I did, what I was feeling, and what I learned in those situations. And I have the discipline to go back and review my past experience, review my track record, see what worked, see what I learned when I maybe did lose my composure, when I did lose my confidence, when I was disturbed and upset because I was overwhelmed. So I go back and review that, and now I've found out I've had the discipline to work on being able to review my past performance and understand that I've done the work, and there's only so much work that I can do in a given day. So for me to remain cool-headed, there are a few things that need to happen. I have to have the discipline to go back and review and learn from my track record and learn from my past performance. I have to have the discipline to accept the volatility of life, and that, listen, when you sign up for something meaningful and when you are engaged in something that you believe is important, and I believe that my role as a college basketball coach is very important in the lives of our players, in the lives of our staff members, in the lives of our general University of Houston community and our fans and our supporters. And so the work that we do and the work that I do, that's important. But I also understand that when you're engaged in important things, there are going to be challenges. Everything is not going to go to plan. So we work very hard to prepare, but you also, I think, to be cool-headed and something comes at you, instead of getting overly excited and start worrying about what all of the bad things that can happen, I have learned just to have the discipline to, hey, this is the way life goes sometimes. It is volatile. I'm prepared for that. And so when I receive bad news or challenging news or a result that we didn't have, right now we are recruiting players and not everybody says yes. And so there was probably a time in my career when a recruit told me, no, I'm not coming to Morehead State, or I'm not coming to Kentucky. I can remember there were times where I really allowed that to shake me to the core. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We didn't get player A or player B. What are we going to do? And so now I'm able to understand that if I will have the discipline to stay cool-headed and stay focused on our principles, then that is, we will attract the people that we need to attract. And accepting the volatility of life will allow us to accept when we don't get the news that we want to have. And that allows us to just think about where the next step can be, and instead of thinking about the consequences and the bad things that are happening, or the bad things we maybe even perceive might happen when we allow a challenging piece of information to shake us. And so accepting the volatility of life is another thing that allows us to build our discipline, and discipline allows us to get to a point where we can do that. And also, remaining cool-headed is not overreacting in the moment to a piece of challenging information. Give yourself, have the discipline, and this is one thing that I've learned over time. Breathing is really, really helpful to slow you down. And instead of reacting, if I get a piece of difficult news, I just find myself trying to pause, have the discipline to give myself the gift of time. And listen, if you take 3 deep breaths, I'm talking about really deep, hold them, exhale, do that 3 times. That actually is going to take you about 30 seconds, maybe 40, and you will be amazed instead of you get the piece of bad news, you are shaken, you react in the moment, you immediately respond. That usually is not a disciplined approach. And so when I have the discipline to give myself the gift of time to process what I'm hearing, calm myself down, find the calm, be cool-headed, now I can start thinking about what's my next step. All right, so this player has decided not to come. She's going somewhere else. So what is my next step? Well, being shaken and losing my composure and letting my confidence be shot and being disturbed or shocked, that's probably, almost certainly, not going to lead me to what the next proper step's going to be. But having the discipline to be cool-headed, and cool-headed is absolutely a characteristic of calm. And so discipline has allowed me to remain, as a person, has allowed me to stay cool-headed as I navigate all the difficulties that have come our way. And also, it's allowed me to stay focused. The discipline to be cool-headed has allowed me to stay focused when we've had tremendous successes. And 6 weeks in, we have had many triumphs. So the way that discipline has allowed calm to show up as a person is I've been able to stay cool-headed no matter what the circumstance has been, and that is the value of discipline as a person. Now let's talk about operations. How are your operations at your current place where you're pursuing something really big? At your job, on a team, in an organization, whatever it may be. How are the operations? Well, the opposite of calm in operations, I label as chaotic. Chaotic operations, that's where complete disorder and confusion reign. And when you are in the throes of something major you're trying to accomplish and it's high pressure and performance matters, isn't it amazing? Well, it is amazing to me at how many organizations I have encountered, observed, heard about, studied, where chaos ensues whenever it gets ultra challenging. And so that's what we're in right now, starting up a Division I women's college basketball program that has not had a lot of recent success or sustained success. It is a monumental task right now to put it all together. And so in our operations, if I don't have the discipline to remain calm, if I don't use the winning tool of discipline in our operations, things can be chaotic. So what I want and what I found that the winning tool of discipline has produced in our operations is orderliness. We are orderly in our operations. And orderliness is the fact of having regular, proper, and systematic arrangement to your operations. And so I have over time developed a system, the Winning Tools system of leadership that has allowed us to build an orderly system for all of our operations. So in the business, it so parallels to basketball and building a basketball program because there's all sorts of facets in your business, from finance to marketing to HR to accounting to P&L, all of that. There are systems in place, and when you do that well and you have the discipline to have rock solid systems in place in your operations, then that produces orderliness, and that is what is happening as we're putting this operation together. I've had tremendous orderliness in the execution of building, and that has been the calm in operations that discipline has produced. And then finally, how has calm showed up in circumstances? So all of us are involved in circumstances. So what are circumstances? These are the things in life that come our way that we lack total control over. And these are the people that present themselves. These are the challenges that present themselves. These are the circumstances that are outside of our control. And so a lot of times what I see the opposite of calm in people's and how they deal with their circumstances, there is a lot of turbulence in their life. And so turbulence in reacting to circumstances and navigating those with turbulence, that's characterized by we don't handle conflict well. We are in disarray. We're confused because the circumstances are getting the better of us. And so what discipline allows us to do is discipline allows us to become unflappable, which means not easily panicked. And so how do I become unflappable in circumstances? It's very, very simple. And I want to tell you this. There's two areas in life that I found that where we really have control. And then the rest of life, we lack control, and we need to come to grips with that. And we have to have the discipline to exercise control in the two areas, our attitude, our effort. So when we do that, when we control those and we just say we are going to have an attitude of positivity, we're going to be grateful for all of the opportunities that come our way, and we are going to look and believe that we can figure out a path forward if we will just keep a positive attitude, and we will be grateful for the opportunity. We have control over our attitude. The second thing, now, if we get control of our attitude and accept the fact that things are not always going to go our way, or opportunity that we thought was going to go a certain way, now we have to shift and go another way. If we can approach it with the right attitude, now we can really lean into our effort, and we can give spectacular effort. And so what I've found in being unflappable and not being easily panicked is just understanding that when something comes our way, when the turbulence of life comes our way, and the circumstances are what they are, being able to accept that those two areas we can control, and then outside of that, there's not a lot we can control, that sets us up to be unflappable. So when crushing news comes our way, or someone's made a really bad mistake on your team. Let's say somebody's made a really bad mistake and the circumstance is less than ideal. You have a choice. You have a choice to operate out of confusion, disorder, fly off the handle at your circumstances, or you have the opportunity to have a great attitude, to understand that anything that's difficult coming my way is just I accept that it's an opportunity to learn. And so I've converted all losses into just lessons. And that is, you're on the path. When you control your attitude and your effort, you're on the path to being unflappable. When you choose to let the circumstances dictate your attitude, when you choose to let the circumstances dictate your effort, that's when your life is going to be turbulent. That's when it's going to be characterized by conflict, disorder, or confusion. So, in review, calm has shown up in my life in one of the most challenging leadership opportunities I've ever faced. Many, many challenges, but I have enjoyed it immensely because I've been grounded in my principles. My principles have been so powerful. They have powered my performance, and they have shown up particularly with my commitment to being disciplined and exercising discipline and using the winning tools of discipline. Calm has shown up in my life. And so I've been able to, as a person, I've been able to remain cool-headed. In operations, I've been able to bring some orderliness to our operations. And to circumstances that come my way, I've been able to remain unflappable. And so I'm telling you this now, it is available to you. You can do the same. You can use the winning tools to change your life the way they've changed my life. Honesty, hard work, discipline. And honesty helped me stay clear on what needed to be done to get this thing up and going at Houston. Hard work helped me be confident, have confidence, and remain confident of what is to come. And discipline has produced some real calm in my leadership. So those principles are powering my performance. They can do the same thing for you. And I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this series, and it is happening in real time here in my leadership journey, current leadership journey. The winning tools are showing up in a big way. If you want that to happen for you or your team or your company, please go to CoachMatthewMitchell.com. and you will find everything you need there that can help you, the tools that you need to build the life that you want and the life that you desire. And also keep coming back to the podcast, Coach Matthew Mitchell Show. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and listen to us each and every week as we come to you with leadership content that's going to make a big difference for you. CoachMatthewMitchell.com. You can find my books, The Winning Tools or Ready to Win, anywhere online books are sold. And follow me on social media at Coach Matthew Mitchell, and we will be updating you constantly on all of the good things that are happening, all of the leadership success we're having, and all of the success we're having in life, and all the challenges we're facing and navigating using the winning tools. So I trust this series is going to be helpful to you. It certainly has been fun to bring to you. Can't wait to see you again next week, and keep it rolling with the winning tools. Coach Matthew Mitchell, I'll see you next week.